Hello, Asad again from Nested Knowledge here. Today, I'm going to be walking you through how to navigate the screening process, which is going to be the second step to designing and creating your own custom nest. So in the last video, we went over the literature search, which is a way of mining giant databases to gather in a bunch of articles on a topic of your choice. With respect to screening, once you've mined that database and you've gathered all your articles in, you can intuitively and efficiently identify relevant or irrelevant studies based on what the software pulled from the database. Our software will automatically analyze and abstract content with regards to patient population, the interventions, and the outcomes. It'll use AI in the background to do that. You can customize different inclusion as well as exclusion criteria and be able to filter out which studies you'd like to include as part of your nest moving forwards or which studies you'd like to kick out. So if you follow me along here, we're going to go back to AutoLit. We're going to open up our nest again and see our lovely dashboard here. And again, we're going to navigate to the left-hand side of the screen where we'll be able to see each of the steps of designing and creating your nest. So we already went over literature search. The next process we're going to look at is screening. So before we actually jump into the screening, I want to take a look here at building your exclusion criteria. So if we go ahead and click on that, we have two ways of including exclusion criteria. The first is automatic exclusion reasons. So if articles weren't published in English, for example, or they were published before a specific date of your choosing, or if they have a title that includes systematic review, for example, since we're only interested in looking at randomized controlled trials, we can run these auto exclusion criteria and the software will automatically kick out any articles that meet these criteria. Manually, you can add in exclusion criteria of your choice. So if the article that you are reading is a correspondence, not related to COVID-19, not a randomized controlled trial, if you don't like the article or the article isn't available, you can manually decide to exclude that article yourself. So let's go back here and click on screening. So here I've got an article that came in about the efficacy and safety of these two antivirals versus standard care in adults hospitalized with COVID-19. This is a single-center randomized control trial. So we already know that it fits the criteria of a randomized control trial. Here you'll be able to see in different colors, the software is actually identifying different outcomes, interventions, and the patient population, and is color coding them respectively. So in purple here, we can see that's interventions. So these two different antivirals, looking at standard of care, what was given, these are all interventions. We have a patient population that's highlighted in green. So we have patients with moderate to severe COVID-19 admitted to the specific hospital in Iran. And then we have different outcomes. So outcomes could be time to clinical improvement, length of stay, need for ventilation, duration, PCR conversion, etc., morbidity and mortality. So our software will intelligently identify these criteria for you. Now let's say you want to go ahead and include this article into your nest. We see that this article was gathered from PubMed. So in the right-hand corner here, you'll see a button here for PubMed. If you go ahead and click on that, it'll actually open up that article page in PubMed. You'll be able to see here we have the same title, authors, and it looks like this is a free article. So we can go ahead, click on this link here, and download the free text to our computer. Once you've downloaded the free copy of that text to your computer, you can navigate back to our Nested Knowledge website here, click on the box here for a full text review, and upload the file directly from your computer. And that's pretty much it in terms of including an article. Now let's say you wanted to exclude this article. For some reason it was not meeting your inclusion criteria. You can go ahead here and click on the button Exclusion Reasons, and all of the manual exclusion reasons you put in earlier will pop up. So let's say this is not related to COVID-19, obviously we know that it is, or if it's not a randomized controlled trial, or if it's a systematic review, we can go ahead and click a reasoning for why we want to exclude that article, and click on the button here, Exclude. Now similarly, once we've uploaded the full PDF, if we want to include that article, we'll go ahead and click on the Include button right here. And that's pretty much it for screening. So screening is an intelligent and intuitive way for you to go back and decide whether to include or exclude articles that were gathered based on the literature search that you ran, you'll be able to do that for all the articles that are mined into your nest. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the tagging process and how to go about doing that. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in a bit.